Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is a Thursday night, time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and look who is back in the co-host chair tonight.
Yes, it is me, Nay. Hi, everyone.
What is going on, Nay? How are you?
I am good. How are you, Jason?
I am dandy. I was trying out that new timer. That's brand new. They just gave us all of that. So I was like, oh, let me try that first. Let's see how that goes.
With the premium subscription.
Yes. All the fun stuff you can do.
Yes, I know. I need to.
You can do tons of fun stuff like this. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. Hey, who's our guest tonight? Bubble Mark of Bubblefast, Mark Levine. How are you, buddy?
Hey, everybody. Good to be back, man. Hey, Nay, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Mark?
Like a family reunion. I love it.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah,
very much so. All right, so with Stacy's help, we came up with an awesome mug and a rum for tonight. So the mug is from 3 Dots and a Dash, which is a tiki bar in Chicago, and they have many mugs. So let me show you the back first because I don't want to give away the fun part. And he's a little headhunter, but look, it's like he's holding a Scotty Peeler.
That's great.
So that's the mug, and then thanks to my lovely wife. Because shipping is a hot wreck, we are drinking shipwreck rum tonight.
Oh, how clever.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So Mark's on. Mark and his, oh, yeah, shoot.
I have a little Jack Daniel's single malt here.
How about
a little quickie little toast? So,
all right, sounds good.
Jason Thrifts, and welcome back, Nay.
Are you drinking out of plastic? What's happening right now?
Because
not
it's
you, Mark. Why are you drinking out?
Okay. I was gonna say,
hi, everybody.
A Koli Maluna.
I am drinking grapefruit flavored sparkling water. So little foo-foo, but.
So Mark's going to be here talking tonight. And if you watched Selling Past Their Expiration Date on Sunday, Mom and I talked about how to come up with the right shipping price using the right platform, whether it be USPS or FedEx. And then tonight we're talking about packaging, boxes, Scotty Stuffers, Scotty Peelers, and all kinds of other fun stuff, which Mark has been an expert in as long as I've known him and even before that. So, Mark, enjoy that entire bottle of Jack, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'll be here, not necessarily sitting straight, but I'll be here.
I'm on the floor, but.
Yeah. Good to see everybody. Good to see a great, lively chat. So let's not hesitate. Let's get right to it, shall we? Now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Oops. Helps to show the screen.
Okay, so I'm up. So my first one, this was a plus size dress. I did get this at the bins, so I paid 99 cents a pound for it. And I sold it for $39.99 with free shipping, but still great because I had best offer and they did not make an offer. So
gotta love when they don't make an offer and they just buy it outright.
Absolutely, yes. And this was a surprise because Michael Kors, now the Michael Kors is the Fusion brand, and that doesn't usually do as well. See, it's very plentiful at like TJ Maxx and Ross. This, however, I got really cheap on an online auction. I won it from shopgoodwill.com with some other items from that same location. So, you know, it was shared shipping. So I think I won the wallet for like $3.99 or something crazy. So I sold it. Now, it did not sell. It sold for $39.99. I took a best offer, but still, that was a plus shipping, and that was a great sale for. I was really surprised at that one. I didn't expect it to go for that much because Michael Kors, the craze for it has kind of died down a little bit because it's so oversaturated. But I was happy with it.
Love it.
And then this one, I was surprised that this one also sold full price. Now, as we know, this team is now called, what is it? Just
the Washington team.
Okay. Yes.
For this season.
Yeah. So I thought that probably, you know, since they're changing, I thought, oh, well, I have this shirt. Probably a good time to list it now while it's on everyone's mind. Although, Jason, you were saying how the market is pretty oversaturated with those the Redskins branded items. But hey, I sold it for $39.99 and I paid plus shipping, and I paid, this was from a Goodwill blue box. So I paid like 40, I guess, for the whole box, but it came with like 20 items in
Nice.
it. So I really didn't pay much for this, and I sold it for $39.90. That basically paid for the entire box. So
Gotta love when that happens.
yes. And then these were a pleasant surprise. This was another Goodwill blue box. I've been buying them. This was a shoe box that I got. And I did, if you watch my show, Nalo's Thrift Talk, I did a haul a few weeks back. And I talked about these from the blue box. You get 5 pairs for $39.99. I have sold a couple other pairs from this same group. One of the other pairs in the box actually sold for even more. So
wow,
totally, yeah. So these I paid $39.99 for 5 pairs. So I paid about $8 for these. Sold for $65 plus shipping. And I want to show you the before and after of these. So this is how on the left is how they arrived to me. The laces were literally gray. Everything was like, it was that you can see they looked beat up and dirty. Would they have sold for $65 in that state? Absolutely not. But I happen to know how to get them clean. So I throw them in the washing machine, leather and all, padded with some towels with OxyClean. OxyClean is the key. Take the laces out, soak them overnight in Oxy. They come out brilliant white. And basically it's like you have a brand new pair of shoes. So
yeah, I would be so lazy I would just buy new laces. But your way is more cost effective.
OxyClean, unless they're frayed, you can effectively whiten the laces on any pair of shoes. So and that really was minimal effort, and yeah, the shoes big difference. So
looks good. All right, I've talked about my favorite store to source is called Buffalo Exchange. Not sure if anybody heard of it, but their overall section is always hidden, and they mix men's and women's together. So you always got to dig in there. And I found 2 of these on the same day and listed this one and sold it within like 7 hours, maybe 10 hours. I paid $12 each of these, new with tags. Javoli's. These are vintage 90s, still new with tags, and $57, and off it goes.
That would have been a great Depop item.
Maybe I'll cross post the other one.
But you might have done a little bit better on Depop.
All right, I'll cross post the other one. I haven't shared a good stamp score in a while, but ta-da! This was just like Craig and Rick, who love the wall of baggies at Savers. This was in a wall of baggies bag full of stamps for like $2.99. This one stamp paid for a lot of stamps. I'm
surprised. That's amazing.
I know.
Somewhere in my stash, I have stamps.
Who would think that this one is the one that's like an Oriole bird? Big deal. But obviously, it was the one. And yay, it finally actually sold. Good Lord. I've sold this purse 3 times. This
really?
Leave home. It left, came back, got purchased. Oops, accident. Can you cancel? And now it's off again. And hopefully this time it sticks. Stacy found it for like $4.99 at Savers hanging on the wall. So
that's a great brand. So they actually hire impoverished people, but they pay them like homeless people and all artists that have talent to hand paint these items, and they actually help them through it. So it's actually a nice little charity thing. But Anushka, I've sold a couple of Anushka purses. They do great. So
yep, great brand.
It is. Yes, good sale.
All right, so a friend was running a thrift store in downtown Vegas in a rough neighborhood and said, hey, will you come check out my store and give me some tips? So I did, and I picked this up for $3. It took a long time to sell, but it's one of those, your life will be better if you watch these DVDs.
Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't.
Sold for $40, so, it was worth it, but it did take about a year and a half or 2 years to sell. So, yeah, so we've had it for a while, but it's gone, so yay.
Awesome.
And yay. God dang. I can never find this on the quick. There it is. Now it's time for CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start out with flipping cassettes first. All right. Nothing huge this week, but, again, if you're finding them for $1 or under and you can get around $17, they do all add up very nicely. Use Your Illusion 2 by Guns N' Roses. Not that rare, but $1 into $17. I will take it. And oh crap, this is Sepultura, but how my assistant said it, I should have wrote it down because she didn't say Sepultura, but it was fun. I should have had you read it.
Oh, yeah. Staple.
I think she said it's Sepultura. But
Staple.
again, it was like 75 cents. I think I paid for it and sold it for $14. So those add up quick, and they're nice, easy to ship, easy to take pictures of. Super duper easy, but just as easy. And now from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs.
Yep. So
Look who's got CD sales.
Yes. So I found at a Goodwill that does a lot of Target salvage, like sometime last year, found a bunch of CDs that were Target exclusives, and I've been selling them steadily, and I paid $2 a piece. So this one only went for $9.95, not a great sale, but still profit.
Yeah, and I was like, because I saw this, and then I saw this, and I'm like, where's she getting all this Target stuff?
Yeah, so I found a honey hole with a lot of Target salvage. So this one went for $22.99 plus shipping. And I paid $2 for it.
Was that a cardboard sleeve?
It was.
Yeah, so even lighter than those in the jewel cases. So you can ship that for 3 ounces as opposed to 4 ounces.
Exactly.
All right, so if you don't know, Peter Green died last week. He was the founder of Fleetwood Mac, and he was on the first 4 albums, and I don't know the story, but then he was done with the band. But like we always talk about, as soon as someone passes, I forgot I had this listed. I might have bumped up the price a little bit, but I didn't. And it sold. It had been listed for about a month, but sold out the day after he died. So once a celebrity or a singer or an actor or actress passes away, people go online to buy things to commemorate their life. I paid $6 and sold it for $24. Now, Nate, I know you love Ezo.
I have no idea what Ezo is. I assume it's a Japanese band.
It's a Japanese hair metal band from the 80s. Now, I did sell for $53. I did pay $30. The return wasn't the best. After Amazon fees, this isn't the best, but I wanted to show it because it's a band that most people might not have on their radar. And hopefully if you find it, you can find it for less than $30. When I paid $30, I was thinking I was going to get around $70 for it. By the time I listed it, the market had dropped or more people had listed it. So still a little bit of a profit. I didn't lose money, so that's always good.
So why did you leave the original price on that?
It's just for the show, my dear.
Oh, I thought that was your listing.
No, that's Amazon. I just take a picture of the CD before we ship it, drop it on top, make my own little graphics.
Got it.
See, I can make little graphics too.
Okay.
But it's funny. Everyone always says that. Of course, I didn't send it out with a $30 price tag. That would be like a slap in their face. Like, ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk George Michael. Sorely miss George Michael. Absolutely was a giant Wham fan and a George Michael solo fan. And, I bought all those promo CDs that I've been sharing, and these were 2 of them. So we figured it out. The CDs cost me 75 cents a piece. Mm-hmm. And this one sold for $48. And this one song single sold for $70.
Wow.
But that sticker, this was a special mix, and that sticker was what made that expensive. If you change the case and that Urban Radio single edit sticker is no longer there, it is not nearly as collectible as people would want it. So without that little sticker, if someone changed a case, that CD is worth $30. With the sticker, it's worth $70. So sometimes you don't want to put fresh cases on. But wait, there's more. Hold up. It's time for Stacy's Budget Bin Scores. Now, lately, I took it off for a second because lately, Stacy's Budget Bin Scores has been turning dollar CDs into $15, $16, and she's sitting here right this evening, hanging out. But this one, yeah, buddy. How about out of the dollar bin for $45?
Wow.
I've been saying it all along. When we can source again, if you go someplace where there's a regular section and a budget section and you're with somebody, teach them the budget section. Because if you can get both sections covered at the same time, boom, $1 into $45. Woohoo!
Wow. Amazing.
And Stacy said, right to the left of me, it's easy. All you got to do is scan. Now Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Okay. So yeah, so this was
What is this?
said in multiple. So originally I sold the tie to this guy, couldn't find it. It was like one of those things, couldn't find it anywhere. So I took a best offer of $6 plus shipping because I just wanted to get rid of this thing. Ended up I ended up telling him I'm sorry, sent him another tie for free to compensate and refunded him. Then I found the tie and I sent it to the guy. He did pay me the $6 and I gave him free shipping. So like, I think I lost money on that one, but it was good customer service. So.
Yeah, and that's always the bottom line. And we're going to talk about that tie with Mark.
Oh, yeah.
When
He was
when
really
you're shipping, you got to get it there. So sometimes you're going to take a hit, but it's all about good customer service.
And he was thrilled. So, and I got a positive. So, and this was a major dud because Poshmark takes 20%. They actually take $3 on it. Anything less than $10, they take $3. So I made a whopping $6 on the shirt. And I did get it at the bins a long time ago. It took forever to sell. So, you know, I made a tiny, tiny profit on it, but I was happy to see it go.
Good pictures, though. Good pictures.
Thank you.
All right. So, I'm always happy to share when I screw up in CDs because the 30 and the 52 wasn't too bad. How about this one? Sold it for $5. I paid $6. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Well,
plus when Amazon takes their cut, yeah. I worked to give Amazon money. Really, nothing happened here. There was no money for me in this transaction. It came out of a full grouping of CDs, so it wasn't that bad. But I still lost money, and yes, and that's why Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world because I make mistakes. And I've had this awesome Schoolhouse Rock America Rock shirt forever, and no one ever makes an offer on it. It is a small, so it's not the biggest shirt in the world. But tell you what, if you want it for $10, Tiki Pug Music, come get it. Election year, come on, let's make America rock again. You need to wear this shirt, okay? Come get it, please. I'll cut you a deal. I will cut you a deal. Oops. Yes, they said she might have to wear it soon. All right. Now it's time for... Now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Okay.
Look at these graphics. You make me and Debbie's look like...
Oh, well, thank you. I sold this to these Rothies. These were a part of another Goodwill Blue Box. Paid $8. So it sold for $165 plus shipping to Germany to I am going to butcher this name. Angelbachtal, Germany.
You got to say it a little more like Angelbachtal.
Angelbachtal.
I think I got it. I think I nailed it. Anybody German watching tonight? Did I nail it?
And I was really surprised because I know international packages are so slow. She got these within 2 weeks and already left positive feedback. I was shocked at how fast they got there. So, so there's the positive feedback on the bottom right and happy buyer in Angelbach, Germany.
All right. Earlier today, like I always do, I do a little tease and I show a few things we're going to talk about. And one of the teases I showed today was a vintage barcloth Hawaiian dress. And I said a lot of them go back to Hawaii. Some of them go to Southern California, but you'll be a little shocked where this one went. Ibiza.
Oh,
that's like the party central for electronic dance music where people don't wear any clothes hardly and they just rave in the sand. So I'm really shocked a vintage barcloth Hawaiian dress is headed there. But that's why we want you to ship worldwide because you never know who needs shoes, who needs vintage Hawaiian dresses. People all over the world want to buy our stuff.
yes.
Yes, it was a pretty one. Very much so. Now it's time for You've Got to Be Ship Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. Oh, I also tease combos.
This is what not to do. So I ordered a $50. I bought a $50 hard drive off of a seller in eBay, who, by the way, seems to be not a casual seller, but they seem to sell a lot of computer related items like this. So, not And they sent it in a beautiful combos box that I could have stuck my finger through and made a hole. It was so thin. And their packing material, they sent it first class, by the way. The packing material was cardboard priority flat rate envelopes. That was the packing material for a $50 hard drive, which has components that are breakable. So I was not happy with the shipping. It does seem to be working okay, but do not do this because it really, I opened my mailbox and saw that and I was just like, wow, it was just not a good way to ship.
All right, so mine's gonna be a little bit different. Remember that DVD box set I showed you today? When I place it in the box on the scale, it's 1 pound 9 ounces. I ain't getting it below 1 pound, and I could use bubble wrap or peanuts like you typically would because they don't weigh as much. But if you have packing paper, I'm not gonna pack. It's still not gonna get over 2 pounds. So the price will be the same between 1 and 2. So this is the ultimate time when you want to use some packing paper because it weighs more, but it doesn't matter in this situation. If you're at the precipice, if you were at 1 pound, 15 ounces, yeah, I'd go with peanuts at that point. But 1 pound, 9 ounces, I just put some paper in, held it in place because that thing was kind of sturdy anyway. I didn't want it to move. So I do want to say thank you for the multiple $10 offers on the t-shirt, but I did take the first one that came in. So my t-shirt has been sold to Scott. Thank you, Scott. And whoever number 2 was, I'm sorry, you were just a few seconds behind.
Nice.
So thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes, we have plenty of other t-shirts in my store. And that was my first thing I've sold all day on eBay. That was the first thing I sold. It's been the quietest day. So thank you for my $10 sale.
Very cool.
All right, so now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you are outsourcing. Oh, that's a lot of words.
I know. So my tip is don't be intimidated and pass up shoes and clothing while you're thrifting just because there's no size or brand tag. I know that can be intimidating, but you can be leaving a lot of dollars on the table. So measure is the first. So if it doesn't have a size, make sure you measure. Search the pockets, the folds, the interior tags. Like Lululemon has those little dots in the pockets. So sometimes the sizes are hidden. Measure the shoes, the insole length and width. And you can check against a size chart online like Zappos that converts the inches to a size. Check against the manufacturer size charts for specific brands. So measure and check against the size, and you can find the size that way. Check against items that you have on hand and with similar measurements. And also you can have someone of that suspected size try on the item and see if it fits. If there is no brand tag, you can see if there's any other interior tags. Sometimes the brand or umbrella brand is on those inner tags. If there's an RA number, there is a lookup, an RA registry with the FTC, Federal Trade Commission .gov, and that's the link for that. And you can often find the brand through that. Look for clues on buttons, zipper pulls, sometimes the fabric print, sometimes there's a small logo somewhere, and do an image search on Google or eBay. And remember, if you can't find the brand at all, sometimes the brand doesn't matter if the style is right.
That's a good tip.
Thank you.
Now, I saw your tip because I was prepping the show, and guess what? I had no tip. None. I'm just sitting here like, because I haven't sourced in a while, just been staying home, staying away from COVID, And then I had an idea, and the idea is going to pay me money. So I'm so glad I had the show tonight, and I had no ideas because I went on OfferUp because I had an idea. And if you look right here, that little truck means that person will ship to you. So OfferUp started as local only, and they had this light for $30. I offered $25. They took it. Look what the last one sold for on eBay, $117.
Wow.
So here's the key. Use the local stuff like OfferUp to ship to you. And when you find things that they don't know the words, they didn't know the word plasma. That's the word you need to use for this light to look it up. They just put Tiki light with motion. That's all they put. And so no brand, and they didn't know it was plasma. So I'm going to take my $38 investment and turn it into $120. So
Great.
You don't have to go out into COVID. You can just have stuff show up on your porch.
Great tip, and you taught me something.
Oh, about plasma or about
the little truck icon.
I found a drum set 740 before the show next to the dumpster in my comp list, listed on my Facebook Marketplace, and already sold for $80. Woo! See?
Nice.
You haven't got to go to the store no more. Yeehaw! And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. Doesn't matter if you're selling on Depop, Etsy, Mercari, eBay, or Poshmark. Here's some little tips and tricks to help you out when selling. Poshmark.
Okay, so I was interested in this funky 80s Oscar de la Renta silk top, but they did not put measurements in your listing. So my first tip is to, no matter what platform it is, always list your measurements. So I asked them on May 3rd there if they could please give me a chest and length measurement, and they never replied. And their item is still sitting unsold. So always reply to your messages, and it'll be a comment on Poshmark. And the way you can look, you should always be looking at that little bell icon in the top right corner that I circled there, and that will give you your notifications when someone comments. You should always pay attention to that and answer that this person lost a sale because they never got back to me with measurements, and I will not buy something without measurements. So
me neither.
Yeah, so
I'm a tall, big dude with all my height and my torso, so I need to know right away if the shirt's long enough. If I can't see it, I'm not going to waste my time begging for you to do your job.
Yep, exactly. So,
all right. eBay tries to be helpful, but they don't understand nuances when you're selling collectibles. So this person offered me $160. I turned it down and I countered with $180. And eBay does say your counter offer is above the range of what buyers typically pay for items like yours. Now, only one has sold in the last year, and it sold for $180. So I'm going to stick right where that is. But if you don't do your own research and you don't know, and this is really mainly on collectibles, because on commodities like regular Levi's, they would know. They would have an idea what it's selling for. But this was a very specific, and this is a Tiki shot glass. It's like this tiny.
Oh.
I'm holding out for $180 because the bar never opened.
Oh.
So when the business never opens and they already made the merch.
Yeah.
And it was to be owned by a famous rock star, Todd Rundgren.
Okay.
So don't let eBay sway you. Hold for your price. That is my tip, and I'm sticking to it.
Great tip.
Now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? Oh, whoops. Okay, go.
Okay, so my unseasonable sold could have been a dud because I had a little oops there, but yes. So I had thrifted these Kate Spade Christmas plates back before Christmas last year, and I paid $1.99 a piece, and there were 7 of them there. I bought all 7. And a buyer on Poshmark offered me, I think, $87 for the bundle of 7. And I accepted the bundle offer, and I sold them. This was in July, so Christmas in July. And then as I was packing one, I dropped it and broke it.
What? You broke something? Shut up.
Yes, as you can see in a little picture there. So I messaged my buyer, and she still wanted the 6, and I gave her a little discount. So I sold her, she wasn't getting the 7. I sold them for $80 plus shipping for the bundle of 6, which was still a great price, and great sale for me. So happy buyer. And I guess the moral of the story is be careful when you're packing things, but also, be honest and forthcoming with your buyer and see if, you can still give them a little discount, and they still want, whatever else you have. So.
And the first time ever since we started this, I have none to offer this week. I sold nothing out of season, not a piece of music, not a sweater, nothing. So. Oh, I can use April's. Okay. April sold a wool sweater.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right. So before we get Mark in here, let's do a little housekeeping, because all these wonderful graphics that you see in my show and what Nay put together is all because Nay is a graphic design artist by trade.
Yes, I am a professional graphic designer, and I worked in, an office 9-to-5 job for many years. Now I do freelance work and sell online, and I am offering a special offer for online seller. So these are package deals. Now, I am professional and I will give you top-notch service. You will be getting a one-of-a-kind design. I don't just like grab clip art. I draw, like if you want to, you know, for your logo, I come up with a concept. I work with you to get something that you really like. So I am offering 3 packages at 3 different price points. They are actually, you know, below when you factor in my time and my, you know, per hour. They're great deals. So and also if you buy one package, like if you have an eBay store and you want your branding for your eBay store, if you buy, I will do your Etsy store too. If you have an Etsy store, and I'll do the second package for 25% off. So.
And to demonstrate your awesomeness, you just finished these up for Lisa.
Yes, I did this. This was Lisa's store design. She did the ultimate package in the Secret Beach. Now, if you are a Secret Beach member, you get an even better discount on my designs. So join the Secret Beach. And yeah, business cards, stickers, thank you, a double-sided postcard, thank you, and a store banner and logo. So, and hold
on, I got to clean out something so I can show your. Only problem with showing the Facebook stuff live, if someone's messaging me, then the message gets in the way.
Oh, darn. Yeah. So I just actually made this little business page. And if you scroll down on this page, you will see my special offer. And what I'm asking, if you're interested, you can message me and ask me for more information, but message me there on that, you know, comment on that post if you want to sign up, and I'll give you a number. And, you know, I am, you know, taking a lot of orders. So, you know, it'll be first come, first serve, but I'm working quickly to get to everyone. So, and that's another.
These 2 are great. So Linda had a question.
Okay.
Sabrina loves her logo.
Oh, yeah, I did Sabrina's store. I think I gave you the link for that one too.
There we go. Nade, you keep our info on file if we want to come back and get more designs.
Absolutely. So I have everything. I back it up on an external hard drive, and I have everyone's files. So if you need anything in the future, I can absolutely, like if you just want to do a banner and a store banner and a logo now, I can later on do your business cards and everything else, you know, the package inserts, whatever else. So yeah.
So Matt, go on over to NS Designs. If you can't find that, message Nadene. If you can't find Nadene, you know where to find me. I will get you hooked up with Nadene. Yes. And Rick has something to say about your rates.
Yeah, I'm working. I am really giving you guys a really good deal for my online seller friends, and an even better deal if you are in the Secret Beach. So, yeah.
And then Nate has her own show nowadays on Friday mornings. If you don't know, well, Friday afternoons on the East Coast. If you don't know.
Yes, so 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Tomorrow we're going to have Anastasia, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Andra
Jazewski.
No, there's no, it's an F. Yes, I should. Andre, I'm going to mess it up. So anyway, Anastasia will be on tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, talking about regional East Coast thrifting. She has lived in the New York City, New Jersey area by me. She's also lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and now she lives in Florida. So she'll be talking about the differences in thrifting between the regions. So if you're not subscribe to our YouTube show, Nalo's Thrift Talk. I do the show with my friend Lola, and we do shows every week. So.
Awesome. All right, my little housekeeping. If you're in the Secret Beach, Typhoon Roy, our guest expert of the month of July, is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. Roy lives in the Pacific Northwest and has become very good at flipping outdoor gear. So tomorrow night is going to be a part 1 because he realized he couldn't do all the outdoor gear in one presentation. Wait until you see what the dorkiest, stupidest lanterns that you would walk by a million times sell for. It's going to blow your mind. And then I've been doing these short scores of the week videos. If you haven't seen them, check them out. There's some scores from Thrifty Business, but those that I share again, I offer more advice and tips on, and then some that you will only see on the short shows. And then next week, we've had Don on before. Mayor Don has now become thrift store owner Don, and he decided to open a thrift store in the middle of a pandemic. So we'll see how that's going. We'll see if that dog's real or not, and we'll see how much that giant awesome shell in the middle of the screen is for sale. All right. So all kinds of good stuff coming up in both the my YouTube, Nays YouTube, and the Secret Beach. But tonight, let's get right to it. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Oops. Dang, I forgot to have him ready to go. Hey, Mark.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Looks like you guys.
Is that the end of the bottle?
I need the stamina. How you guys doing?
Oh, I drank so hard it came up with my glasses. We are good, and we're sending out an SOS because shipping is just a hot mess everywhere. And in a variety of ways. It's not just the packaging, but that's what mainly we're going to be talking about tonight. But it's overall people overpaying for shipping. Here, let me show you a prime example. Let me take down my Scotty Stuffer for a second. And my other Scotty Stuffer, which we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, this box right here has a Tiki mug in it. And I would like to show what they paid. Now, let's look at the weight. They walked up to the counter. Walking up to the counter is the most expensive way you will ship your products. Always think of it this way. If you rent a car on vacation, when you have to return it full, if you get gas at the gas station next to the airport, you're paying way more than if you got gas 4 miles away.
True.
But look at the weight. 2 pounds, 3/10 of an ounce. If someone was blowing their breath, that's 3/10 of an ounce. So now this poor person paid for the 3 pound rate. If you ship at home, that is 2 pounds every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yes.
And so they paid $16.90 because A, they walked up to the counter, and B, they paid the 3 pound rate when they should have paid $10.54. They overpaid by $5.50, 40 cents. So that's why I'm saying we're not just talking shipping materials. We're also talking just the whole process. Why overpay? It's the same product, shipping. Don't overpay. Doesn't that drive you nuts, Mark? Doesn't that drive you insane?
Well, it's a delicate balance between proper packaging so that you can get your product there safely, but being really efficient in the size and the weight of your package and what carriers you use. And it all depends upon how far it's going. There's a lot of factors that go into how to ship cost effectively. And you hit on it right away. Anytime you go to the post office, you're paying retail rates. There are no discounts for e-commerce online sellers at the post office. In fact, there's no discount for online sellers if you pay for postage at USPS.com on the website. So you have to use the third-party shipping service like an eBay or ShipStation or Stamps.com in order to get your commercial rates. We also recommend Pirate Ship as another good one. There used to be commercial rates and commercial plus rates, and now there's just one category. They call it commercial plus. So everybody is getting the same basic discounts for their postal rates with the post office. But the post office is not always the best way to ship. If your package is a little bit bigger and going a little bit further, you need to examine some ground rates that may be more efficient for your cost-wise.
May, have you shipped anything big lately? When's the last time you shipped something big?
You know, I did ship a big lot of vintage books recently. I did ship the media mail, but they were a good 13 pounds, I think it went out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot of books, and and it was a huge box. So
here's
media mail. So
a prime example is an eBay customer purchased 50 Scotty Stuffers from us. And we'll talk about Scotty Stuffers in a little while. That box is 18 inches by 16 inches by 10 inches for a package of 50. And we ship that FedEx ground, and that cost $10, $12 to go ground. Well, the customer returned it and printed out an eBay priority label that cost $32.54. And the only difference is the carrier of choice.
Wow.
So it's important to know that you have to look at other options besides just the post office. It's digress a little bit. The real part of that story is that somebody bought 50 Scotty Stuffers from us and sent back to us a little sticker of a green shoe in a little teeny tiny envelope and tried to get us to get them a full refund because they have an eBay label that has a tracking number and proof that it was delivered back to us.
Ah.
So we did. So we got scammed on that, and we talked to our eBay concierge and we showed them pictures of everything that we got sent back, and so we did not have to pay the refund. I am sad to announce that the buyer did get reimbursed by eBay, not against us, but the upsetting part of that is that eBay gave that buyer permission to do it again, and eBay allows people up to 3 times to do something like that. And before they get kicked off the site. So be aware of the scams. If you do have returns, 2 things: make sure it's a legitimate return, and the second thing is look at your eBay bill. It's easy to find because it's a shipping refund, and they don't normally do it, is what they always say, but they did refund us the $32.54 they charged us for return shipping because it was a scam. So a little bit of a digression, but it's all about shipping, so I'm going to feel free to talk.
I think we get into a scam conversation all of a sudden. I'm like, whoa.
You know what? We can talk for hours about just about anything. eBay's numbers for the second quarter were the best numbers for a quarter they've had since, they said, 2004 or 2005. $27.1 billion in revenue, 8 million new eBay buyers. That's up 5%. There's a lot more people buying stuff out there. There's a lot more competition out there for you as sellers, and you as sellers are probably shipping like crazy because of the extra business. And you have to make sure that even though you're very, very busy, you still have to pay attention. You still have to take the time to properly package your product, because your competition is out there, and if they do a better job than you, then the buyer is going to go there. And you need to take a few extra minutes extra to properly package, because if you do have to pay for a return or pay for a refund, it's just not worth the hassle or the money. So that's my first piece of advice: is take the time to do the job right the first time, so there's no repercussions later on.
All right. So when you say proper packing material, you mean like this, right? So plastic bags from the grocery store. Okay?
Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Paper bags from the gift shop. Hold on. Newspaper. This is the proper packing material.
I can't look. It's oh my gosh.
I mean, look at this. It's all gift bags that they just crumpled up and used as packing material.
Okay, so you want
bags that you got that one time.
Yeah. If you want to go, so Jason, how was the product? How was it? What kind of shape was it in when you received it?
It was a bike seat, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But still, I don't want your garbage.
All right, do me a favor. Empty out that box.
Yeah.
And put the bike seat back into it.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
All right. How much room is there from the top of the bike seat to the top of the box? How many inches? Several inches?
Well, they should have put in a little bit longer box, but it's like, about an inch.
Okay, so when you pay for shipping, you're paying for what's the larger number of the weight or the dimensional size of the box, and that in combination with how far it's shipping is how much you pay for shipping. So this person gave you a box that was way too big and overpaid for shipping. And quite frankly, whatever effort they putting in paper bags and plastic bags, it was a waste. And how do you feel as a customer having your buyer taking care of you in that manner? Is that somebody you're going to brag about that and send all your friends to buy stuff?
Nope, but I got bags to pick up a Toach's poop. That's about it. There's the silver lining.
So that was an excellent example of what not to do. You're under packaging and over packaging at the same time. Nadene, I just cringed when I saw that combos box.
Yes.
There couldn't be anything more wrong than what that seller did. It was a really crappy box. You need to have a nice, solid cardboard box.
Yeah, I paid $50 for that hard drive, and I was just so upset when I opened my mailbox, and that was what they packed it in. It's
quite obvious that that hard drive weighs more than a pound, and to ship that first class, that's a federal offense right there.
And then they use priority material.
priority flat rate envelopes as packing material, that is a double federal offense.
Yep.
You are getting free packing material envelopes or boxes from the post office specifically to use for priority shipping. If you get caught, it's not just you get kicked off eBay or whatever, but you could go to jail for that. There's no question about it.
And it hurts everyone too, because I would imagine at some point enough people abuse it, they're gonna start charging for those priority materials.
Do you remember way back in the day, people used to take the priority boxes and turn them inside out and use that for a shipping box?
Yes.
That's bad. And so the post office, you used to do that, Jason? Or you
Back
remember?
Before I knew better, I will absolutely admit I did it too.
Right, but the post office got around that by printing USPS stuff on the inside of the box. So when you flipped it over, then people can tell that it's a misuse of a box. So spend a little extra money, spend a little extra time. Every customer is an important customer. Pack with TLC, and not only will your package arrive safely, but you're going to get repeat customers.
Oh yeah, I would never buy another anything from that seller because of how the little care that they took, and I spent the money on on the hard drive and the shipping, and I also I could have literally poked my finger through that box because it was like cereal box, thin, and anyone could have, if that had ripped, it was so easily ripped, could have ripped, and anyone could have seen that there were priority mail packaging in there. So they're lucky that they didn't get.
Or that it was a hard drive.
Or the hard drive could have fallen. Yes, exactly.
So what are good packaging materials that we should be using? Jason gave us an example earlier when it was appropriate to use craft paper when the item you're packing is not necessarily that breakable, but you need a little bit. In that case, I wouldn't call it a cushioning material, but void fill. You want to fill in the gaps so that things aren't rattling around as much. But I wouldn't use that or tissue paper or anything like that if I'm shipping a Tiki mug. So, you want to use some good bubble cushioning, and I emphasize the word good. I think, Jason, you had an experience before.
Yeah, I will share this story until the end of time because I always apologize. I've always bought my bubble wrap from Mark, and then one time, I'm going to throw Joy Williams under the bus, who is a good friend of both of us. But Joy said in the admin chat one day, "Oh my God, there's this great sale on bubble wrap on Amazon." And I didn't research. Look, we all just followed the link and we all purchased. So I get this bubble wrap. It was so poor. If you looked at it sideways, it just started popping. So I watched this amazing show called The People's Court. And Judge Marilyn Milian always says that cheap comes out expensive. So I spent less money, but I had to use twice as much bubble wrap. So I didn't save any money because it was so crappy. You couldn't use your norm. I get from you, I need 3 sections. All I need to pull off is the 3 sections, and it works. So I apologize for cheating on my bubble wrap distributor.
It was a lesson learned. I mean, so here's the thing. The vast majority of the rolls of bubble wrap that are 3/16 that you buy online, most of them are going to be 175 feet. And to be, upfront and open with you, ours are 150 feet. And the reason is because it's a much better quality bubble. It's thicker, it's stiffer. You end up using less per package. It goes further, and your package is going to be bound to get there safer. So it is worthwhile to get the good stuff. If you're shipping something that's very breakable, you don't want to take any chances. You want to use good solid boxes like Jason showed back, the one that I showed there. The cereal box type, the cheap thin chipboard. You can't even consider that as a proper packing material. Angela Ritchie is asking, can we talk crush rating on boxes? So your normal standard corrugated box is going to be 32 ECT, and that stands for the edge crush test. That's the minimum that you want to use to ship a package. You can get heavy duty boxes that are 45 or even more than that, or double wall boxes. But when when you see something that says it's 200-pound boxes, it doesn't mean the box can hold 200 pounds. It means that the paper they use is a 200-pound graded paper. So you want to use something that's 200 pounds or more, and you want to use a minimum of 32 ECT. That's your standard shipping box. That's UPS, FedEx, and USPS approved. Anything less than that, you're taking a chance. You got to remember, especially now, UPS, FedEx, the post office, any other carrier, they have more packages than ever. It's worse than peak. And these things get kicked around and thrown around and stomped on, and stuff gets thrown on top of it. So you want to make sure you have a good quality box. So I hope that answered your question. I'm happy to take any question throughout the presentation. I can't really see the chat at this point.
So
putting that across.
So the important question, does popping bubbles relieve stress, or is it just fun?
Well, fun relieves stress, so that's a double answer to your question. And I saw, like I said, on the little crawl, there was somebody said, I think it went on and it went off really fast. Something about I love my 32 ECT boxes from Uline or something like that. This isn't about who you buy from, so don't feel embarrassed to say you buy from anybody. There's a billion sellers out there. The point is to buy good quality packaging, not who you buy it from. So don't be embarrassed about any of that.
My youngest child is, he's on the spectrum, and he's got sensory issues, and he steals my bubble wrap. I have to hide it from him because he loves popping. It's soothing. So I give
buy
him
that Amazon cheap stuff.
What's that?
Just buy him Amazon cheap stuff and give it to him.
Exactly. It really does soothe him though. So it does help him. Yeah.
There's two basic sizes. There's three, but there's two most normal sizes of bubble wrap, and it's 3/16 inch and 1/2 inch, and that's measured from the bottom to the top of the bubble. And the little bubble, the 3/16, that's the same kind that's in the bubble mailers. You use that for smaller things like Tiki mugs and things like that. If you have bigger things like mirrors and lamps and things like that, you want to use the 1/2 inch bubble. It doesn't go as far because it's bigger, but that's the most fun popping bubble, is the 1/2 inch bubble.
Nice. Maybe I'll have to get some of that for my son.
I never thought we get to the point where what's the most fun bubble to pop.
And in fact, many times people will buy these huge 4-foot rolls of 1/2 inch bubble wrap and lay them on the floor for kids' dances. And that's the best way to get the wallflowers off the wall, because who wouldn't want to be dancing on a bubble wrap floor? So the next question I see is, what do you think about using the foam type wrap sheets for packing breakables? So in all honesty, foam sheets do not offer a lot of cushioning. Bubble wrap does. Each bubble is a little shock absorber. So what we would use now, bubble wrap is it's oil-based plastic. It's poly. So there's a possibility that you may hit some residue. So if you're shipping plates, expensive plates especially, a lot of people will take the foam sheets and put that on the top of the bottom of the plates to protect it from the bubble wrap itself. But foam sheets, unless it's really, really thick, is not going to do the job that bubble wrap or bubble cushioning will do, because again, each little bubble is like a little shock absorber protecting your product.
And speaking of, this is my product I spent my
Whoa!
hard-earned money on from a auction house that ships millions of dollars worth of merchandise every single year. One of the biggest like pop culture auction houses in LA. And this showed up like this. And as I was opening it, I could hear it. I could hear it in multiple pieces. And what they did, the box was good. So the crush rate of the box was good. However, they only put bubble wrap around it like twice. And so even though the box was good, the slamming down when you're on the truck, when you're on the plane, that's what caused it, because it didn't have enough cushion in there.
Yeah, so this is a product. First of all, when we used to be trading assistants and brought in everybody's stuff and sold it for them, we got experience shipping a lot of different things. In all honesty, this is exactly the kind of thing that we avoided as much as possible, because unless you crate that or put it in a wooden box, it's really difficult to protect it. But you would put the small bubble around first, so then you have the little bubbles against the glass, and then you put lots of layers of the 1/2 inch bubble around that, so that even if it got a lot of shaking going on, there's just a lot of cushioning. If you want to use that box for a Frisbee, there's not much you can do about it.
I have a question for you, Mark. So those Christmas plates that I shipped, what I did with them was I was really obviously, since I broke one already while I was packing it, I was really careful with packing the remaining 6. I put cardboard between each one, and then I bubble wrapped them all. But I put the cardboard to kind of like separate them. Is that something that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, that's even better than the foam sheets because you're putting, a good eighth of an inch, a quarter inch in between each plate, and plus it's stiff, so it's going to help the plate not move as much.
So I did a good job, and then I filled in all the voids with peanuts.
Yeah,
so.
And depending upon how many plates, people may not know this, but depending upon how many plates you're shipping, the typical plate's going to be 11 inches or so.
Yeah.
So especially if you sold it for a lot of money, one of the best boxes you can use to ship those kind of plates are LP mailers, because those are 12.5 by 12.5 by an inch, 1.5 inches, up to 2 inches. And so they're built for LP records, but it's a perfect size for plates as well. And it's a good solid box that would help protect your package.
So I guess I could, if I have 6 of them, I could have stacked the LP mailers.
And then you can tape all those together or put those in a 12 by 12 by 12 box.
That's a great tip, because I actually have a box of LP mailers that I've used very rarely. I bought them for the LPs, and I haven't sold a lot of LPs. So that's a great tip.
You just have to, again, you got to balance the price you got that you sold it for. If you sold something for $6, you don't want to spend $8 in packing materials. But if it's a $50, $60, $80, $100 plate, then you want to take extra special care.
Yeah. I sold those 6 for $80 plus shipping. So yeah, so I was very careful, but that would have been a great thing to use my LP mailers for next time I know. So
now go out and list some more plates. So Rick wants to know, bubble side in or out? We do recommend, there are a lot of theories, but we do recommend the bubble inside, because again, each bubble is a little shock absorber, so it will accept more shaking when your object is in transit. The bubble out will protect the cardboard box more than it will the item that you're packing.
And take it from someone who has shipped thousands and thousands of breakables. It's always bubble in. Always.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I'm glad I do it the right way.
Now, I've tried something new, and I don't know if any of the customers who I've tried this with have gotten it yet, so we'll see. But oftentimes I sell 2-part Tiki mugs like this. Okay. And so typically what I used to do is I'd wrap this, and then I'd wrap this, and then I would need a little bit bigger of a box. And then one day we're shipping a pineapple mug that works the same way. And I'm like, why not take the saran wrap and just put it on and then tighten it down and then wrap one thing? You think that was good or no?
Me personally, I think that's bad.
Okay.
And the reason why is because you have ceramic moving against ceramic. The lid inside the cup is there's, no matter how much you tighten it down, there's going to be some movement. If it was me and if it was an expensive sell, I would wrap each one, put each one in a separate box, and put those 2 boxes in a third box.
So you don't need I pack them well enough. You don't need a separate box. But I did try them on mugs that I have multiples of and that aren't real expensive. So that was something new. I thought I'd give it a whirl. I wouldn't try it on a $200 mug first. I tried it on a $30 mug.
So depending upon the size, another way to do this, if the 2 pieces will fit inside of a Scotty Stuffer, then you wrap up one, put it inside the Scotty Stuffer, put in a little piece of cardboard as a separator, put the other one on top of that. And if they can both fit in a Scotty Stuffer, then you put it in a flat rate padded priority mailer, and you're shipping the whole thing for one flat rate price, and it's going to be a safe package.
Rick's got great questions. Not that other people don't, but he's loving this bubble wrap. How tightly do you wrap it? Do the bubbles expand during travel, like the change in air pressure in a plane?
That's a pretty technical question. Never really come across.
Can you give us do you have a graph? Do you have a chart?
So the answer I have for that is, does it really matter? I mean, I wrap tight because you don't want things to move around. Okay, especially if you have more than one piece that you're wrapping within the same package. I've never had. I mean, yeah, sure. There's air pressure because there are air bubbles. So yeah, I suppose in an airplane. With the pressure, it could change, but it's not really going to affect how the safety of your product any more than the carrier using it as a football. I mean, that's certainly going to have a bigger effect on it. But thanks for the excellent question. Good one.
You didn't miss what the Scotty Stuffer was, Lisa. We haven't talked about it technically yet, so hang tight, everybody. All right. So speaking of shipping well, Nadene, do you have a package there from me?
I sure do.
Now, why don't we check that
I'm
out?
dying to open it.
However, Nadene did drop it on the way into the show.
Yeah,
So
I will see how well you packed it.
further test of how well you shipped it, or you packed it, rather.
I will already put it out there. I didn't ship it. My assistant did. So.
Okay, so I do have it here.
But if it came out perfect, you're going to take it back and say you shipped it?
No, actually, I do think I did that today.
Okay, so here is the box.
All right.
Yeah.
You just showed everyone both your address and mine, so thanks for that.
Sorry about that. Well,
yeah, much better.
Was that 3-inch tape I saw on there?
What'd you say?
There was tape.
Was that 3-inch tape I saw on there?
It's clear packing tape. It's about 3 inches. Yeah.
Whatever.
So, it's filled with peanuts. Nice. I can reuse them. So thank you. Oh, I see. I think I'm gonna die if I. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna die.
So Nadene does a lot of artwork for me, and she does a lot of artwork for me at the last second. And I'm like, I need this in like an hour. And so Nadine's a huge Golden Girls fan, and my buddy came out with a line
so bad, and I could not. They were expensive, so I couldn't
these are the new shot glass versions. So.
Oh my goodness! I thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. I'm beyond like.
Yeah. So here, hold it a little closer so everyone can see. Yeah,
thank you.
Those are the shot glass versions of the Golden Girls.
My gosh.
No, those are all the same size.
I saw that Geeky Tiki's made the Golden Girls glasses, Tiki mugs.
Yep.
And it's splurge that I just can't afford to. And wow, thank you so much. They're so cute. Look at how tiny they are.
Me or my assistant shipped it well, and it shipped on Monday and arrived on Wednesday from Vegas to New Jersey.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so
it needs a tissue.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm just because you have no idea. I've been had my eye on these Golden Girls mugs forever. Anybody that doesn't know me doesn't know. I am a huge Golden Girls fan. So
Heather wants to know who your favorite is.
Rose. Betty White is my idol. I love Betty White.
All right, so that kind of works into what you and I talked about earlier, Mark. So that moved kind of quick. I shipped on Monday, and they had it on Wednesday, so that was awesome. And however, we're about to have the most non-political discussion you'll ever hear on this show.
Oh, we're going to segue there now, huh?
Yeah, I figured it was a good time because unfortunately there's a new postmaster who doesn't want us to ship fast.
Yeah.
So we as sellers need to know what's happening, and we need to talk about this. As much as I like to avoid politics when we're in the bubble of thrifting and eBay, unfortunately politics has seeped into our world right this second.
Big time right now, but I'm going to do the best I can to keep it as objective as possible. I'll keep it to the facts. Robin's sitting next to me. She'll try to keep me straight if she can. So there's actually two things to talk about in regards to what's going on with the post office right now. In June, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy was installed as the new postmaster, and he's a businessman. And I talk to my postal carrier all the time. Debbie says, "Hi, Robin." The problem is that you can't treat the post office as a business. It's not a business; it's a service. And as soon as you start treating it like a business, then the service is what suffers, and that's where it's difficult to draw the line. So Louis DeJoy wants to treat it as a business. Now, we all know the post office is losing billions of dollars every year for a couple of reasons. The biggest one being that Congress signed this $75 million pre-funding pension or 75-year pre-funded pension program, that almost all the money the post office makes is going into this pension. So there's nothing left for them to spend because it all goes into the pension. And that was a line that got slipped in a couple of years ago that didn't really get read but got passed, and now they're stuck with it. The other reason the post office was getting drained like crazy is because nobody's shipping letters anymore, right? So there isn't a lot there. So the post office is being drained of funding, and it was an emergency situation where back in April, they thought they're going to run out of money by October. The truth of the matter is that right now, because there's been so many packages being delivered because of COVID, that's really not the case anymore, but they didn't know it back then. So they have this new Postmaster General, and Robin got some articles for me to talk about. Again, she's very good at that. And before we're done, I got 4 articles. I want to post those in the chat so that you can read them. They're very short and easy to understand, but I don't want to just read them verbatim. But there was a report that came out from the Inspector General that the Postal Service spent $1.1 billion last year in mail processing overtime and penalty overtime, $280 million in late and extra transportation, and $2.9 billion, these numbers are astounding, in delivery overtime and penalty. This was just 2019 alone. And so even though they were trying to become more efficient, they spent all of this money, so being efficient, didn't really work. So the answer to that is let's become even more efficient and let's disallow overtime because we're spending too much money in overtime. What they don't understand is that there's so many postal carriers that are out because of COVID, so they're short-staffed. And if you cut out all overtime, then there's nobody there to make up the time for that. And the other piece of it, I'm trying not to talk too fast, the other piece of it is that if the delivery truck arrives to the post office late, the carriers would stick around, sort it, and then put it in their trucks and go out and deliver it. They are now being told, don't do that anymore. If the truck arrives late, leave it there, leave it on the floor, and take care of it the next day. And mail is getting stacked up. We all know it. We all feel it. We've all experienced it to the point where eBay is actually rolled back from July 1st until August 31st. Any penalties that we as sellers are going to incur because of late deliveries. That's how bad it's got. We still have to ship on time and have the tracking in on time, but thank goodness eBay heard enough and has seen enough that it's so obvious that they actually have the sellers' backs on this. And delivery estimates, Robin is telling me, is even being changed.
Deliver estimates in eBay. They are changing their adjusting for this.
Yeah, and Amazon as well, to the point where I'm losing sales on Amazon because Amazon is padding my delivery time so much people don't want to buy the stuff because everybody's aware of what's going on with the post office. Other things here. Okay, so that's something that people are hearing about. Here's something, the other side of it, that people may not be hearing about it. Oh, by the way, is it a ploy? Is it not a ploy? Mail, especially letters, are going to be slowed down right at the same time when the post office is going to be inundated with mail-in ballots. So chew on that for a little while. No comments on that one.
No, let's let that one hang.
As I said, we'll just keep that one as objective as possible, but that's really what's happening. Okay, so the post office needed money very, very badly. So they've been talking with the Congress about trying to get some money, a bailout, so to speak, to get them through the pandemic crisis. And so Congress just approved, or the Treasury has just approved, lending the post office $10 billion, right? Which they needed very badly in April, don't necessarily need it as badly now because they did some more analysis, and they have money not just through October, but through 2021. So they don't need the money as badly as they did before, but here's a line of credit of $10 billion that's now available to the post office. There's some caveats. First of all, you can't use it unless it's specifically related to COVID issues. Number two is you can't get it unless you have less than $8 billion of cash on hand. These numbers, again, they're hard to think about. But the post office right now has $14 billion cash on hand. So Congress gave them the money, they can't even use it. Why am I saying this? Because the contract, $10 billion loan, didn't come without a cost to the post office. This is mind-blowing. Sorry. I will post this article. The Treasury agrees to lend the Postal Service $10 billion in trade for rivals shipping contracts. The debt-laden mail service will provide the agency proprietary information on all its agreements with private sector competitors. That means the Treasury Department, almost for nothing, is going to have access to the contracts that eBay, Amazon, FedEx, UPS, Stamps.com, they're going to have access and privy to those private contracts that are using the post office for last mile delivery, because the administration thinks that companies like Amazon are getting such a huge discount, it's not fair. When in reality, the discount they're getting is like 5%, and they're giving us, so that's how they're making money up with us, with that small discount arbitrage. And the administration, you think that was mind-blowing, the administration wants the post office to quadruple the rates. Quadruple the rates. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, and it probably won't, but that's what the administration wants, without understanding that if the post office did that, nobody would use the post office because it wouldn't be competitive at all. And
I'm going to say right now, if you put anything else political in the chat, I'm going to remove you. That's your one and only warning, everybody. We're keeping it as little political as possible. We do have to talk about it because it affects every one of our businesses. If you want to get political, my chat ain't the place for it. I'm telling you right now.
And I'm not even looking at the chat, and I don't want to look at the chat. This isn't about being divisive. This is about how we, as sellers on e-commerce, things we have to look to prepare for in case they happen. This is just the reality of what's going on. The administration placed a businessman in charge of the post office, so that the end result is the Treasury Department wants to have control of that. And it isn't about this administration, because once that happens, this administration is going forward forever. So you really can't say it's one side or the other. But if the prices do get raised that much, then we have to be prepared for it. So what most people don't know is that there are two kinds of, I'll call them ways for the post office to rate their packages, their products. One is by an act of Congress. And so the post office can't raise postage by 2 cents without having an act of Congress. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Several years ago, they split off packages from letters so that the post office could raise their rates more competitively on packages, so that they can compete better with UPS and FedEx and whatnot. And those are the packages that are in danger of having very high rate increases, which we already had great increases because the post office went to dimensional weight at the beginning of last year. So if you think, that right now, FedEx, UPS, and Amazon, they're all using the post office for last mile delivery. There's a potential of that going away. So that means that FedEx, who doesn't go to the 75-mile rural farmhouse, how is that farmhouse going to get its packages? These are ramifications that have to be thought about. It may ruin the postal system. It's very possible.
Hello, Amazon Postal Delivery. They built the structure for it.
It may have the opposite of the intended effect. Who knows? So if you're not already, you don't already have a contract with FedEx or UPS Ground, or if you're not already using eBay's ground rates, you need to consider it sooner rather than later. That's really the bottom line of all of this, is that if the post office goes away, or if the rates get so high they're not competitive anymore, you need to prepare yourself for alternative shipping methods. Right now, the post office ships more packages than anybody and goes just about everywhere, more than any other carrier. And we if you want to get political, talk to to Congress, your representatives, and make sure that the post office stays alive, because this is going to directly affect every single one of us on this show right now. It's very, very important. So
yeah. So take that, ingest it, live with it, and then think about that. And the only thing I'll say political is think about that when you're voting. Think about that when you're talking to your congressman or woman. because if our ability to ship products for a reasonable rate goes away, this is my job. That's Nadine's job. That's Mark's job to sell us products to do our jobs. Mm-hmm. So if we can't get them economically to and fro, we're kind of screwed. We're all going to have to start learning how to make digital products, which I don't have that skill.
Well,
now Nay's got a skill. See, she can still do something. I have no other skills. I got nothing else.
I like having my online selling business.
Well, yeah, but I can't sing. I can't dance. I can't make art, And so, and a lot of art my friends make beyond Nay, it's physical art. So they need to ship too. I'm trying to help them. So please make sure that you think about that every time you go to the post office, every time you go to vote. Make sure that the person you're voting for is aligning with what you do for a living and isn't trying to mess up what you do for a living. So
I'm also wondering when at some point, I'm wondering if the free shipping supplies are going to be going away, the free priority boxes. And, as an example, with my combo box disaster, they abuse the shipping supplies. So, there's people still doing that, but I'm wondering if with all this, if they're going to reevaluate that as well.
For sure. I mean, they're going to be pinching for pennies. I have one more comment that's not really a bad one, but Jason, I'm trying to post the links into the chat, which is limiting me to 200 characters, and my links are longer than that.
Okay, so let's do that. Tonight in the Thrifty board, we'll have a post with the links that Mark's talking about, so you easily can go look at them and read them.
Yeah, there's a lot of information in them. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. It's going to affect your business one way or the other. So you should read them. And I think we should probably move on from this subject.
Yeah, let's talk about
questions.
Let's talk about fun tools that we all should have in our arsenal. And let's start with this little bad boy right here. And the fun thing is, it comes in multiple fashion colors.
Yes, and I have.
Oh yeah, you have my favorite one. Now,
before we even talk about this, okay, hands in the chat. Who doesn't know what this is, and or who doesn't have one, or like most of us have like 10 laying around their office because you always need them at different points. Who doesn't know? Yes, I did cough, by the way. Funny girl. And here's why I coughed. I'll tell you. I poured the lime juice in first, then the rum, then some Diet Coke. Forgot to mix it. The last sip was just straight lime juice. Yummy.
All right. This is called a Scotty Peeler. For those of you that thrift and you buy products that have price tags on them, this is the perfect tool to peel off the price tags. This was actually originally developed for medical equipment because every time they switched patients, they had to take the stickers off for the next patient. And us online sellers got the idea that maybe this is good for stickers for us as well. And they come in metal and plastic. The metal you should only use for things like glass and stuff like that. Otherwise, it'll rip the heck out of your boxes and your fingers. You can use these more often than anything else. You see it's very flat and it gets under the sticker. If the sticker is very stubborn, you can use some Goo Gone, or you can use a hair dryer and the heat will melt the glue and get it off very easy. This should be in everybody's arsenal. If you're
so instead of doing this, hair dryer, let it warm up, and then this helps you just get it off so nice and easy.
Yes.
And it doesn't leave residue that you can't get off easily.
And it doesn't ruin your nails.
Well, yeah, this is your nail. Right there.
Yeah, there it is. All right, so you should have that in your arsenal. Next, you should have the
Great minds think alike, Jason. This is not a gun. This is called the Box Resizer Tool. Box Sizer, a lot of different things. Earlier in the show, Jason had a box that I asked how much room was left on the top of the box. Again, don't take this the wrong way, every inch counts. And the smaller, the better in this case. You still have to put enough protective packaging in to protect your product, but then it's your job to make your package as small as possible because of dimensional weight. The bigger the package, the more expensive it's going to cost to ship. So we have here what's called a Box Sizer Tool, and it has a little lever on it right here that goes up and down. So you put that inside your box. I think Jason will show you that. It has a perforation wheel on the bottom here. You can see that. I can spin that around. And basically, in the handle, so you put that inside your box, like Jason's going to show you, and you can cut down the four sides of your box, and it's an even professional cut. It's a perforation, not actually a cut. Then you cut down the four corners, and basically every box has four flaps. You're just extending those flaps and make the box smaller. You cut down the four corners, and you bend down the new flaps, and your box is smaller. It's neat, it's professional, and it's fast. These things, you can get them anywhere, eBay, Amazon. Everybody has them. They're less than $20.
Bubblefast has them, but we're gonna have a.
I need one. I don't have one. I need one.
We're gonna have a fun discount code in a second, so don't go.
The funny thing is that Bubblefast was using this, and we had one for 8 years, and then it finally broke. And it took me 8 years to have an epiphany when I reordered it to say, wait a minute, finally selling this thing. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, we've been selling them for a lot of years.
So Angela said she sliced her hand on a box cutter today. And what's nice is, and what Mark mentioned is, when you do that, so you score it all the way around, then you cut down the sides and fold it in, it's flat and straight. If you've ever tried to do it on your own by your eye, you start scoring on one side of the box. When you get back to the side again, you're like, why are they an inch apart now? Yeah. So when you have that, myself. And Nate always cuts herself.
Always.
And so when you can fold that box down flat, A, it's easier to pack. B, it's way more professional looking than the one side being up all high, the other side being down real low. Because I've done it. We've all done it. But that helps. That definitely helps. All right.
So if you want, and I know we're going to talk more about some other things later, but Jason, tell me the first person in the chat who can tell you how long Bubblefast has been selling. We started on eBay in what year? The first person to get the year right will get a free box sizer.
I don't know the answer, so I know the amounts, but I don't know.
All right, let's see.
All right, so I'm looking.
I'm in the chat.
I'm looking.
I'm looking.
2005 and 1986. Those are a heck of a.
No. 1903. You got it.
1903. Mark looks good for his age.
Yes, he does.
All right.
Good cooking. Good home cooking. There you go, Lori Brockmeyer, 1999.
Where is it?
Bubblefast started selling on eBay with a single roll of bubble wrap in 1999.
There we go.
So if you can get me, who was it?
Yeah, Lori, send me your message me on Facebook your shipping address, and I will send it right over to Mark. Thanks, Mark. That was fun.
Yeah, that was an easy question because you can just keep guessing it. Yeah, we've been around for 21 years.
So our last little thing you should all have. I had two spinning around, and they don't come colored this nicely colored in. I did that on my own. I try to stay in the lines. Now, Nate, you got some of these?
I do not, but I know what they are, and
I do have some. Come on.
I know I should have some.
This is called the Scotty Stuffer, and this is a product that was actually created by the eBay online community. By desire. People were asking across the country for a product that they can fit inside the flat rate padded priority mailer, so that they can it's the largest box possible. You can ship flat rate. It was originally designed for Tiki dolls, hula dolls, and coffee mugs. So back in the day when we first created this, it was $4.95 to ship this mailer. You can fit as much as possible in here, up to 70 pounds. And in a mug to zone 7 would cost $8.70. So it costs you maybe 50 cents for the box or whatever. By the way, in all the time we've been selling the Scotty Stuffers, we've never raised the price.
Wow.
So 50 cents, 80 cents, depending upon how many you buy. You can put anything breakable in here. You should still use bubble wrap or whatever it is to make sure it's safe. Like I said earlier, you can actually put 2 coffee mugs in here, wrap one in bubble wrap, put a piece of cardboard separator, put another mug in there, and you can sell whatever you can fit in here and ship it for $7.75, I think is the commercial rate right now.
Well, $7.52 if you're a top-rated seller on eBay.
$7.52 on eBay. And that's an incredible bargain because if you can use regular priority, you could save, $5, $6, $7 on shipping if you can get it inside this box, which is 9 by 5.5 by 3.5. It's pretty thin, which makes it expand nicely. And I've said before, you want to get regular ECT boxes for shipping. You're not using this box to ship. I highly recommend you do not use this box to ship. But if you're putting mugs in here that are bubble wrapped, and then you put it in this box, and then you put it into a padded bubble mailer, you have plenty of cushioning. We've in all the years we've been selling this, never a complaint of breakage. So this was created by the community for the community, and we highly recommend that you use this, and you save a lot of money on shipping.
We have 2 questions about that specifically. Why do you use the name Scotty on your products?
Okay, so there was a podcast way back in the day, and somebody in the podcast was asking about how she ships hula dolls. Granny Annie shipped hula dolls one at a time, first class, but if she shipped 2 of them, it went into priority, and she couldn't put them in a flat rate padded mailer because it wasn't protected enough. They called in on a podcast from 2 people from Texas, and it was Melinda and Uncle Joe ran this podcast from Oklahoma and Texas. And then Scott Henshaw was listening to the show. He was a big eBay seller. I think last I heard he was with PayPal. So he contacted us and said, hey, somebody on the podcast was asking about the largest box you can get to fit inside the padded mailer. So we named this after Scott Henshaw. It's the Scotty Stuffer.
Now, was that the same thing with this, or was this already called the Scotty Peeler?
This was already called the Scotty Peeler.
Oh, it's just a weird coincidence that just happened to happen.
It is. It just rolls off the tongue really nice. We have Bob's Big Boxes. We have the Kitty Cat Combo. We have the Danny Pack. We have a lot of products that we've named after our customers. So if you come up with a good idea, you never know. You might be on the menu.
All right, so Joel's got a question. Says, I'm in Canada and ship USPS by buying my labels online using a cross-border shipper. I can't get Scotty Stuffer shipped by you.
You mean to you?
Yeah. He's saying he can't get Scotty Stuffer shipped by you.
Well, okay, so our website does not do international shipping because our website is 100% free shipping. And we don't have all the international places calculated in there. So you can contact me, Mark at Bubblefast.com, and we can work out a shipping rate for you. And what we normally do in situations like this is that shipping is built in. So we'll back out the shipping we built in and then just add what it costs to ship to you internationally. And a case of 50 Scotty Stuffer shouldn't be too bad. So Mark, M-A-R-K, at Bubblefast.com. And I have shown the Scotty Stuffers to every post office and every show I've ever been at. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing possible can be rejected. The misunderstanding people have is that it's called a flat rate padded mailer. So people think you have to ship it flat. That's not true. The rate is flat, not the mailer. Anything you can fit inside that mailer up to 70 pounds is post office approved.
So here's what I got to say about that. A couple things. A, Super Trooper, your post office would be wrong. And in the file section of the thrifting board, we have all these awesome files. If you haven't checked them out, you should. One of them is links to the pages where when post office employees don't know their own manual, read them this manual. I have shipped 4,000 Tiki mugs this way. Never had a problem with any post office. And last thing, the hell you doing going to the post office? Pickups. Don't go. You never go to the post office. I haven't been in a post office in 100 years. I had hair the last time I was in a post office.
Well, the thing is, I live across the street.
You live across the street. That's
so I feel ridiculous for asking for a pickup,
Okay, and when she says across the street, she's like, I hit it.
The rule used to be you had to have at least one priority or one express package
it's
for
not
the
that way
post
anymore.
office to come pick up. Now there's no rule. You can go to USPS.com and get an account. It's free, and that allows you to log in and schedule your pickups. I schedule them 3 months at a time. They come every day. So the 2 things you have to think about is that the pickups are free if you allow the post office to come on their schedule. So most of the time, it's in the morning when they drop off mail, they're going to pick up. So it's a possibility that if you get something ready in the afternoon, you may have to wait for it to be picked up the next day. If you want to schedule it your own time, it costs $22 per pickup.
Yikes.
Or every day, it's $22 a day. So cookies and candy and all kinds of niceties seems to work very well with your postal carrier to come back at the end of the day to pick up your packages.
Or they hit your house with a postal truck. That's another. So my post office across the street.
Relying to being across the street.
Unless you're a person who's living alone and your kitchen table is your office and you never get out of the house and you need to go to the post office just to be with people, there's no excuse not to have the post office come and pick up when they drop off the mail. It's their job and it's free.
So Nate, I was going to say, since they ran into your house, when you walk in now, are they like, oh, that's the lady we ran into her house, we'll help her?
Oh, they are so nice to me. So what happened, Mark, if you didn't hear the story, I live across the street from the post office. Postal employee left the truck running. It rolled across the street and crashed into my house.
Special delivery.
Yes, I was just getting in the shower and then the whole house shook and I heard a loud boom and I looked out and there was a postal truck pretty much. So it demolished our front porch. They did settle, they're self-insured.
Wow.
We went through the whole claim thing. We did get our porch fixed, but they are so nice to me now. So,
and
you want special treatment.
Then have it pick up every day if you want.
Well, I feel silly because it is right across the street. So, but when I lived in, someone said they live in New York City and they can't get the pickups. When I lived in Philly, I just moved from Philly. The postal carriers, they travel on foot. So they don't pick up your packages. They have to send a truck out. And it was very tough getting the truck to actually come out to pick up the packages. So if you do live in an inner city area, that can be tough.
And I get living in the cities, definitely living in the suburbs. But Super Trooper, if they're lying, they're straight up lying to you. They're straight up lying to you. So what you need to do is you need to ask for the postmaster of that station, and you need to show them the DMM where this is absolutely 100% within their rules, and say, I don't want to hear none of this nonsense that it won't fit in a machine. Are you kidding me? That's complete. That's lazy nonsense right there.
It's tough when you live in the city, though. I've been through it, and let me tell you.
I mean, look, we used to live in the city. I walked to a city post office, and they gave me some hassles back then. I know a little bit more now, and I would have pushed back a little harder, but you got to deal with it. So here is Mark's wonderful website. Thank God it's up. Mark, it wasn't Mark's fault. It was the server's fault. But I went to post a link to his page like 3 days ago. I go, hey, where's your website? And he's like, ugh. And Mark was nice enough. Let me get this up here.
And then we want to talk about the new stuff too.
Yep. And we'll finish with the new stuff. So the code to get 15% off your order through August is Jason Thrifts, no space. So you can get Scotty Peelers, you can get Box Resizers, you can get Scotty Stuffers, you can get the good bubble wrap, you can get the good peanuts, and anything else you need. So 15% off is a awesome discount. So I want to thank Mark for bringing that to the show tonight for all the viewers of Thrifty Business.
And one caveat, that's good for the website only. Don't try to use it on eBay. It will not work.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's one thing that Mark always has to say quite often, because they do sell on eBay, but if you're using a discount code, that'd only be on their website, because eBay would be like, what's Jason Thrifts? What?
And normally we do it to the end of the month, which is tomorrow. So
you got 3 hours. Go.
In this case, it's good to August 31st.
Awesome.
So don't forget about it when you need more supplies. Doesn't matter where you live in the United States, we'll ship it to you for free. And we're going to make new friends.
All right, so we're going to end with Mark actually has some new products, Nate, that he wants to share with us and the world. So with that, Mark, what you got? And then we'll call tonight.
Yeah, so this is pretty exciting, and it isn't just about selling stuff. It's just pretty exciting. This has become more and more an environmental aware country that we're living in. It used to be pretty big. It used to be pretty big out in the West Coast. We had a section of the website for earth-friendly materials, and it just kind of died out. There has been a huge resurgence for eco-friendly, biodegradable, recyclable, compostable materials. It's kind of tough because you want your packaging materials to be good enough to withstand, the pressure, and yet at the same time you want to be able to break down in the environment. So it's almost an oxymoron. So you guys hopefully have seen something like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new envelope that Amazon had made for it specifically to ship out packages that are eco-friendly. There is a seal here, this paper bag. You see where it says how to recycle.info. You guys can go there now. This is what was originally made exclusively for Amazon. It has padding inside that is made from water solvent adhesive. So this is completely 100% recyclable. And guess what? The manufacturer has reached out to Bubblefast to be its distributor outside of Amazon. So this is definitely world-breaking news for us and hopefully for you as well. Our first order is due in within the next week, and we'll have it up on our website. It is going to be less expensive than the Jiffy mailers.
This one I sold for $18.
It'll be a little bit more expensive than bubble mailers, but completely and totally eco-friendly. So keep your eye open on this. I'll post it in Jason's Facebook group when it comes out. But truly, this is big news. It's 100% recyclable. And so one more thing in that vein. Any comments or questions on that?
No, that's
Okay.
awesome.
So one
That's
more.
awesome that you're the guy bringing it to us. Yeehaw!
We were fortunate
I'll give
enough
you
that
some fireworks on that. Hang on. Let me give you some fireworks. Yay!
we're just lucky. We're fortunate. It turns out that I don't know if anybody's been to Ecom Chicago, but that's in Elk Grove Village, which is about 45 minutes away from Bubblefast. And it turns out that the manufacturer of this product is in Elk Grove Village. So he reached out to us. He found us online, reached out to us because we're relatively local to him. And we cut a deal together, and we're going to be his distributor for this, for local businesses and online as well. There will be 5 sizes. They manufacture 5 sizes. Our first order is going to be for 3 sizes, a 7-9, a 9-12, and a 12-15. Those are the 3 most common sizes. There are 2 more that we'll get later on. Don't have their prices yet, but they'll be priced very, very well and affordable. This has obviously been tested like crazy by Amazon. And so, yes, if you're local, you can definitely pick up, and we love to meet our customers. So discounters, if you're, in the neighborhood, let us know as long as you wear a mask. That's the number 1 rule right now. So yeah, no, this is, I don't want to take this too lightly. This really is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a big deal for e-commerce in general, and it's going to help Europe. It's been a long time. I wanted to say one more thing real quick. Everybody has seen something like this. If you sell on Amazon, this is a self-seal suffocation warning bag. About 8 years ago or so, Bubblefast was the very first company to bring these to market as a self-seal suffocation warning bag. The market is now flooded with these. Everybody has them. You can get them from anybody you want. But come late August, early September, Bubblefast is going to be the only place on the planet you can buy these as a biodegradable self-seal suffocation warning bag. We are all about it, all about the earth here.
What? That's awesome.
So, keep your eyes peeled. That's coming. It's ordered, and that's going to be here in about a month or so. So
you're always looking for and getting new products that are helpful to the seller, to the person who has to ship, that are good for the environment, and you're not just sitting back on, well, we sold this product for 20 years. That's the only place we're going to stay. So that's awesome. That way to go.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ms. Linda. We can't just stay ahead of the curve. Sometimes we have to reinvent the curve. We got to keep bringing new stuff to you guys. Hi, Peggy. It's good to see you. Yeah. So that's it. We can't sit on our laurels. We got to keep coming up with new ideas. We consider all of our customers our friends. We're doing this for you. There's been a huge demand for packaging supplies that are biodegradable, that will break down in the environment and still be a good packaging supply to protect your product. We're doing the best we can to bring it to you. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. And when they're ready, we'll let Jason know, and he'll let you know.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Rob.
I was hoping she'd stop in and say hi.
Hi.
That's the better half right there. That's Robin, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Well,
shaking?
Robin said there's the better half.
Oh,
Oh, so cute.
That's Jessie. She's 14 months old, and she
So
had a lot of
cute.
play dates today, so she's a little tired.
all right. So I know when we have Mark on, it definitely goes a little bit longer, but we get so much good content, and his content, it doesn't matter. You know, like Nay's mainly on like Posh and Depop, and I'm mainly on eBay, and some of you are mainly on Amazon. None of that matters because we're all the same in terms of we all have to ship something somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
We all have to ship. So this is when Mark is on. So Elisa is already trying to shop. She can't find the Scotty Stuffers on the website. What section are they located in?
Well, go to the nav on the left side under Scotty Stuffers, or there is a search bar on the top. Just type in Scotty Stuffers, and you'll find it.
Look at that. Scotty Stuffers right there. Boom. Right there. Easy peasy.
And there's you see those book folds, Nadine? Those are the LP mailers.
Okay, cool.
So thank you, everybody. We had a big audience tonight. So do us a favor, give Mark a thumbs up, especially if you learned anything tonight, or if you've discovered a new product you need in your life. Give us a thumbs up right there, and make sure to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed before, subscribe. Hit that bell; it'll let you know when I'm going live. Tomorrow morning, well, depending on where you live, early afternoon. Check out Nay and Lola talking to my good friend Anastasia. The picture has a Tiki mug, so I'm tuning in because I'm assuming we're talking Tiki mug tomorrow.
And if you have any more questions, that's what we do. We answer. It's Mark, M-A-R-K, at bubblefast.com or 1-877-SHIP, S-H-I-P. I got to say that carefully.
Mark's going to get us an R rating. Woo! So, Nay, thank you very much. For always, like I said, the reason I sent you those Golden Girls mugs was
I appreciate it so much.
I'm
love
always
them.
like, can I have some art within 7 minutes? I need it. I'm so sorry I'm late.
You do that.
Yeah. So, you know, when you have a friend that always is there in the pinch like that, send them a gift. They'll enjoy
Well, you're
it.
a good friend to me too. So
Yeah, thank you for being a friend. If I should be so bold to say that, or I'll sing it. Everyone loves my singing. Thank you for being.
Oh no.
No, thank you for co-hosting. For those who don't know, Nay and I started out this journey on YouTube, and we are still great friends. And she's got her gig, and I got my gig, and we'll do some crossovers. So thank
I'll be on again, I'm sure. So.
And thanks, Mark. Thanks for always keeping us abreast of everything in the shipping world.
Thank
Good
you,
and
Mark.
bad.
You were awesome.
So you know
Always a pleasure. Jason, I'm yours. I belong to you.
Big hug. Big hug, buddy.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Secret Beachcombers. We'll see you tomorrow night. Sunday, I'll be back with my mom. And then next Thursday, we'll find out what nut opens a brand new thrift store in the middle of a pandemic. And I say that lovely because we're buddies. So tune in next Thursday. It's going to be a good one. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you around the YouTubes.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.